This is lesson 28, exercise 4A, preview words and sentences. And there's something important I want to point out here, which is that we had mentioned when we introduced the rule for the inflected ending for ing that you only add it to the same stroke if it's a brief. Don't add it to a root word in the same stroke unless it's a brief. And a prime example of why you don't do that is the word sunning. If you were to add the G to the word sun for sunning, you would end up with the word sung. And so that would be a conflict. And there are many of these that could end up being conflicts. Not all of them would necessarily be conflicts, but as you're learning the theory, it's too complicated for you as you're learning things to try and figure out, well, is this going to create a brief? Is it not? So for now, you're just adding that inflected ending to briefs, all right? If it's a regular root word, it's a separate stroke, all right? And we do have a lot of words that we're condensing here, like the second part of prohibit, all right? We have the prefix, P-R-O, and you can actually condense the hibit part, all right? The it is sort of an unaccented vowel there. Coloring, you're going to do the inflected ending in a second stroke because that's not actually a brief. That's you condensing the word, all right? So don't put the G in the same stroke with that, all right? Behave, that has that BH that you're condensing there, as well as some others, all right? So with all that, here we go. We're going to dictate these preview words. Ready? The brief for will. $569. Ben. Therefore. $100. Though. Prohibit. Working. She. Is. Sunning. Off. Even. Pale. Evening. Coloring. Trouble. Each. Behaving. Before. Amounting. All right, now go back up to the top of your vertical notes, or if you're using paper, go to the top of your paper and read the steno. Make sure you can decipher everything in there, even with all of these words that are condensed, really getting used to seeing that final G, knowing that that's always going to be the ing inflected ending. All right, and then when you have gone through everything from your steno notes, you can resume and I'll dictate the sentences. All right, so here we go with dictation of the sentences. Make sure you're looking out at a focal point. You're not looking at anything happening on your computer screen. You're not looking at your fingers, all right? Here we go. Ready? Her coloring is pale, even though she has been sunning it every day, period. The boy was behaving well at school, even though he had been in trouble before, period. He will prohibit his son from going out and working in the evening, even though he is paid $100 each night, period. Oh, comma, the bill was amounting to $569, semicolon, therefore, comma, he had to take out a loan to pay it off, period. All right, now go back up to the top. I want you to transcribe this whole thing and then compare your transcription to the words in the sentences. All right, making note of anything that caused hesitation. One thing I want to point out, I haven't mentioned this for several lessons, but I am assuming that you're doing straight copy practice before I dictate, and I stop mentioning that before I do each take. So you should still be practicing, and if you're having troubles with briefs, remember, they're always bolded in the straight copy, so make sure you're doing that straight copy practice before so that you can identify the briefs in the sentences as being bold. And then when you hear the dictation and you're not looking at it and you're just looking at your focal point, it will be more easy to remember having done that straight copy. All right, so when you're ready then, move on to exercise 4B for the preview words and sentences.